Didn't want to miss the nightmare. It is kind of dark and gloomy right now. So we're going to do it, Mr. Nightmare, man. What's good, YouTube, man? It's your boy, Jay Willie Silly, man, a.k.a. Mr. Take It Easy. Before you end up like Beezy, make sure y'all follow my Twitch, man. Subscribe to my second channel. Everything you need to know about your boy, Jay, it's in the description down below. We got 3 disturbing, true, new home horror stories. You know what I'm saying? Man. You know what I mean? I told y'all, bro, if y'all can believe it, y'all can't believe it. Y'all probably don't believe it. You know what I mean? But this topic right here just kind of brings me back to the Alabama days. You know what I'm saying? When I stayed in a little creepy apartment, I told y'all about that, man. Man, oh my God. Like I told y'all, bro, somebody that was staying in that house before us was doing some demonic ish. I'm trying to tell y'all, bro. You know what I'm saying? You feel me? Somebody was like, I'm telling y'all, bro. You feel me? Somebody was doing some demonic ish. One thing I'ma just advise everybody to do before you move in a new house, man. You just gotta find out. We gotta find out about the recent owners. You know what I'm saying? We gotta find out about the recent owners. Let's put some holy water up in here. You know what I'm saying? Let's do something, man, because you just never know what them people was doing in the house. You know what I mean? I told y'all, my mom said, you know what I'm saying, that somebody stopped her while she was moving. I wasn't with her, but my mom said this. My mom said that somebody stopped her and said, y'all moving into that apartment? You know what I mean? And then was telling her, you know what I'm saying, that the people that lived in the apartment before us was partying, used to do all type of crazy stuff in that apartment. And remind you, my mother told us none of this. So now I retract back. I'm like, now that's why I understand why the apartment was so freaking weird. You know what I'm saying? Because the people that lived in the apartment before us, like I said, man, thank God, Lord save us. Thank God, you know what I'm saying, that, you feel me, you know, this home, nobody has lived in this home, you know what I mean, other than moi. You know what I'm saying? Thank God for that. You know what I'm saying? Honestly, I don't think I can have another experience like that. You know what I mean? I'm going to keep it real with you. But I told you, I had some weird experiences in here as well. You know what I mean? Honestly. You know, I don't want to really get into it, but I had some weird experiences in this house, bro. You know, I don't know if that's Satan trying to thumbnail time.
3 years ago, my partner and I bought our first home. It was a modest place, and our neighbors were wonderful. Life was good.
Hey, bro, I'm gonna tell you this right now, bro, and I'm gonna tell y'all this right now, and I don't be trying to scare y'all. I'm not trying to scare y'all nothing, bro. This is somebody that's experienced these experiences. You know what I'm saying? This is somebody that's experienced these experiences. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just telling y'all, like, it's real. It's not no ifs, ands, or buts about it. You know what I mean? I used to scream when I used to see shadows when I was a baby, bro. You know what I'm saying? Shadows used to scare the freak out of me, bro. I used to see a human figure. Now, I mean, I remember that freaking human figure, bro, like it was yesterday, bro. I used to see a freaking shadow. You know what I'm saying? I've been having weird experiences, bro, ever since I've been a freaking kid, bro.
So good, in fact, that 18 months later, when those neighbors decided to sell their house, which was larger and had more luxuries like a driveway, a garage, and a bathtub, we jumped at the chance.
Oh, shit.
We bought their house and put our old one right next door up for sale. After reading several motivation letters from potential buyers, we chose a Polish couple. They only spoke in English to us and not in Dutch like we did, but everything seemed normal. They asked for some tips about the house, and we had some pleasant, small-scale small talk. But looking back, that was the calm before the storm. Even before the big incidents, things felt off. We started experiencing bizarre disturbances at the strangest hours. Sometimes at midnight, we'd hear heavy banging or incredibly loud music blasting through the walls without warning. It wasn't constant, but it was enough to make us feel like we didn't truly know who was living a few feet away. The first red flag appeared when the neighbor came home with severe damage to both sides of his car. It looked like he had scraped against a guardrail at high speed on both sides. When we asked what happened, he gave a clumsy excuse: a concrete pole on one side and a trailer taking a turn too wide on the other. We chose to believe him, even though the math didn't add up. One evening around 6 p.m., the neighbor called us in a total panic. He claims people were outside his house, turning his security cameras away. He begged us to check it out and call the police.
And check nothing
We
out.
looked, and sure enough, 2 men were breaking in. We called the cops immediately. It took the cops 20 minutes to arrive, so the burglars were already gone. The neighbor's wife came racing into the street, parked her car, and frantically ran inside to her sweet little French bulldog, and the police, who were at the time already there. When I was walking my dog curiously, I saw the husband park his car 3 streets away and walk to the scene, as if he was hiding the vehicle from the police. But that thought didn't occur to me at the moment. Later, when we checked the doorbell footage, we saw the burglars standing there before the break-in, calmly discussing which house to target in Polish. Nothing was stolen, no one was caught. I told the police it felt like a setup, but I never heard back. A week later, I was at a housewarming party when my partner texted me, "The music next door is insanely loud again." A few minutes later, he called me, and his tone changed to pure terror. The neighbor's car had just come tearing through our front garden and slammed into the neighbor's own front door. 2 men were frantically loading the car with high-end electronics, like flat-screen TVs, professional speakers, and other expensive gear. They looked like the same men from the week before. This time, the police were a lot quicker. They arrived in exactly 7 minutes. The officers intercepted the men while they were still loading the car. When asked for ID, the men claimed they didn't have any. Then things got surreal. The man behind the wheel looked the officer in the eye and claimed to be my neighbor using my neighbor's actual name. But there was a catch. In the 9 months that they lived next to us, my neighbor had never spoken a single word of Dutch. This man, however, spoke fluent Dutch with a thick Polish accent. Realizing the game was up, the men slammed the car into gear, and a violent pursuit followed through our quiet streets until the police managed to box them in and arrest them. But my partner could still hear movement inside our neighbor's house. The police went back in and dragged out a 3rd suspect. As we were inside our own home with an officer to report the damage to our property, the doorbell rang. We turned around, and there he was, the actual neighbor. He was unrecognizable. His face was a swollen, bloody mess. One eye was swollen shut, his mouth was torn, and his arm hung at a useless angle, covered in what looked like defensive stab wounds. He looked feral, aggressive, and broken. The police officer tried to intervene, but the neighbor flat out refused to file a report or cooperate. Since the victim wouldn't speak, the officer had no choice but to send him back to his house. Later that night, the neighbor rang our bell again.
See what I'm saying, bro? You know what I'm saying? Dealing with freaking crazy people. Bad company corrupts good character. You know what I mean? I be trying to tell y'all, man. Watch who the freak you let around you, man. You know what I'm saying? Now you coming, now you bringing them problems. Now you bringing them problems at my doorstep. You know what I'm saying? Now the problems that you have, you bringing it to me. Now you putting me in danger now, bro. Now it's not just about you. Now you ringing at my doorbell, bro. I'm not trying to be dealt with none of your problems. None of your problems you got going on, bro, I'm trying to deal with. You showing up, bro, in the doorstep with a closed eye, bloody freaking face, arm looking disfigured and all that. You got freaking men freaking ramming through neighbor's grass, bro, putting electronics and everything. Bro, you got too many problems. Hey, man, bro, just stay away. I'm not answering that doorbell, bro. You know what I mean? I'm telling y'all, man. I don't care how cool you think a person is, man. If that person is a bad influence, bro, get away from that person, bro. I'm telling you, bro. Get away from that person. I remember I was at a freaking job, bro. You know what I'm saying? This is a new story. I know I tell a lot of same story, but this was a new story. I feel like I've seen this white dude before. You know what I'm saying? But freaking, I was at a job, you know what I'm saying? A little temp job. I had so many temp jobs, bro. So me and the white dude, bro, we clicked like that, bro. You know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna lie. I could just tell he was like a rebel. You know what I'm saying? I'm good at freaking sizing people up. I could just tell bro was a rebel. Matter of fact, you know what I'm saying? You had people there that was, you know, on, what's it called? Community service. I think bro got locked up, got in trouble with the law, and he had to do some type of community service. That's why he was there. You know what I'm saying? But basically, you know what I'm saying? Freaking, he smoking weed. You know what I'm saying? That's when I was smoking at the time and all that. We clicked. So, you know, bro following me on IG and all that. And I could just tell bro was just telling crazy stories. You know what I'm saying? I could just tell bro wasn't lying. You know what I mean? This one one of the cats. This was like a white dude, you know what I'm saying? You could just look at him and just like when he was just talking, You could just tell he was up to no good, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, just looking at him and the way he was talking, you just tell, like, yeah, white dude, he ain't up to no good right here. You know what I'm saying? He a bad influence. One day, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm freaking driving home, bro. You know what I'm saying? You know, like I said, got my number and everything. You feel me? Because bro was cool. You feel me? Like real cool. Like we clicked. You know what I'm saying? Have you ever met somebody, bro, where y'all just clicked? You know what I'm saying? Like it was just like this. Like yeah, like you just been doing this. I feel like I've been knowing this dude, bro. We just clicked, bro. You know what I'm saying? So it was just cool, bro. You know, chilling. Like white dude, cool. But then what? You know what I'm saying? What threw me off and matter of fact, this was my last day. Matter of fact, this was my last day. I ain't gonna lie. I wasn't ever gonna talk to bro again. I ain't gonna cat to you. He was just one of them cool folks. You know what I'm saying? Just cool and all that. Probably would have chilled with bro. You know what I'm saying? Honestly, you know what I'm saying? Like been cool with bro. You feel me? If he ain't say this, you know what I'm saying? But bro was talking about, hey bro, you know what I'm saying? Hey man, sometime man we need to go to the club. And matter of fact, you know, look, let's go to the club, man, and leave your car. I'm driving. And when bro said that, I knew something was wrong. That's when I was like, yep, you're gone. You know what I'm saying? When you told me to leave my car, I barely know you, first of all. First of all, I'm not even a club dude, first of all. You know what I'm saying? And then when you told me to go to, first of all, I wasn't going to go to the club, period. We ain't going to hit you back up, bro. I think I unfollowed bro on Instagram and everything. You know what I'm saying? So you told me to go to the club. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't going to go anyways. But what threw me off is when you told me to leave my car that you going to drive. Boy, I don't drive with nobody, boy. You know what I'm saying? If I'm going somewhere, I'm driving. So that right there, I picked out like, yep, I ain't speak to bro since that day. That was like freaking, I ain't like, that was like 2 years ago. You know what I'm saying? 2 years ago right there. That was like 2 years ago. But I could just tell bro was up to no good, bro. You know what I'm saying? I could just tell. It was just something about him. You know what I mean? And I just felt like I seen bro before. Just very familiar, bro. Like, even when I be thinking about him sometimes, I be like, bro, I feel like I seen you before, bro. I don't know where it was. I don't know. But bro just looked mad familiar, bro. You know what I'm saying? I just can't put a face on it, bro.
Trembling, he confessed that he cheated on his wife and he claimed that she had sent people to take him out.
Oh, shoot.
He begged to sleep at our house. Terrified and wanting no part of this.
Oh, so your wife, yeah, you know what I'm saying? Boy, you tweaking, boy. You know what I'm saying? So your wife sent people to kill you. You know what I'm saying? But you can't cheat on everybody, bro. But I'm sorry, bro. I can't even help you, gang. I ain't gonna lie to you, bro. I can't help you, bro. I'm sorry, bro. You know what I'm saying? Not that I don't want to, but you bringing problems in my door, bro. I ain't no savior hero, bro. I'm sorry, gang. I can't help you. I can't help you, G. Now you bringing that to my door. Now they finna come look. Now that's finna come to my door. Now what if I end up getting killed because of your problem? You cheat on your wife. I ain't got time. I can't do it, bro.
Underworld drama, we refused. My partner offered to drive him to the hospital instead. We dropped him off at 10:30 p.m., telling him we were staying elsewhere for the night because we no longer felt safe. But we didn't stay elsewhere. We went home, locked every door, and tried to breathe. At around 1 a.m., our dog started growling. A specific low growl he only uses when someone's at the door. We checked the doorbell camera, and there he was. The neighbor was back from the hospital, standing on our porch, ringing the doorbell multiple times.
Bro, get the freak, bro.
We sat in the dark, watching the screen in silence. Then, after what felt like an eternity, a car turned onto the street. The neighbor panicked. He scrambled off the porch and hid behind our cars in the driveway, crouching in the shadows. Watching this bloodied, broken man lurking in the dark behind our own cars was one of the most unsettling things I've ever seen. The car
that's him.
stopped.
Oh, that's him. That's him right here. Y'all, that's him right here. That's him right here. I ain't gonna lie. Like, I ain't gonna lie. Y'all, I probably would have had the freaking, I ain't gonna lie, man. Like just seeing, bro, like, it's true that, like, it's like, dang, bro, it's like you be wanting to help people, bro, but dang, bro. You know what I'm saying? It's like, bro, people, you just don't know this man up to no good. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you just don't know, man. It's like, dang, I want to help you, bro. I want to help you, bro. You feel me? But it's like, dang, you just don't be knowing, bro.
Felt like an eternity.
I just can't put myself at risk.
Onto the street.
So he on the right side, right? He's right here. You know what I'm saying? At my freaking mouse, he right here. So this I'm trying to tell y'all, but Mr. Nightmare, this be the real stories right here. He right here.
Panicked. He scrambled off the porch and hid behind our cars in the driveway, crouching in the shadows. Watching this bloodied, broken man lurking in the dark behind our own cars was one of the most unsettling things I've ever seen. The car stopped, and a woman got out. It was his wife. She walked toward her front door,
Oh shoot.
paused, and glanced at our driveway. She saw him. We held our breath, waiting for a confrontation, or worse. She walked toward him, and as she stepped into the pale yellow glow of the street lamp, she began to wail, a haunting, guttural crying. He didn't say a word, and she kept asking questions, her sobbing getting louder and louder, echoing through the empty street. Eventually, they both got into the car and drove away. We didn't see them for 3 days. We didn't even know where their dog was. The wife eventually returned alone. She found the dog inside, and she told us she doesn't think she'll ever see her husband again. Whatever the real story is, drugs, debt, or marriage turned lethal, I've realized one thing. I don't think I want to know.
Bro, I think bro died. I think she got bro killed. I think bro died. I think that was the last time bro was seen alive.
Back in 2017,
Bro died.
I moved into a new house in the suburbs of Montreal, Canada, with my parents and little sister. Before I get into the juicy part of the story, I need to explain a few details about my room and its placement in the house for everything to make sense from my point of view. The house we moved into is a split-level home, meaning it has staggered floor levels connected by short flights of stairs. My room was neither on the main floor nor in the basement. It sat exactly in between the two, at ground level. One wall shared space with the garage, and the opposite side had a large window that looked out into the backyard. At the time, that window had plastic vertical blinds with several missing panels, so even when they were fully closed, I could still see outside through the gaps. On the garage side of my room was my closet, which had large sliding mirror doors. This meant that when I was in bed, no matter which side I faced, I could always see my window reflected back at me. I started noticing things about a year after we moved in, when I was 15. I remember watching YouTube videos on my tablet late at night since I had trouble falling asleep. One night, I heard something outside my window. I had left it open because it was really hot and we hadn't invested in an AC unit yet. So I relied on whatever
Hey,
breeze.
bro. Oh my God. Well, I remember, boy, like it was yesterday, but AC went out in the crib. Oh my God. Man, boy, and this was summertime too, y'all. Summertime, I'm telling y'all, word up. It was like 95 degrees in the crib. I tried to turn on the fan. Even the fan was blowing out hot air. Man, I was sleeping butt naked, butt booty naked on the, man, bro, I was sleeping butt booty naked. It was hot. It was more hot. It was already like, 80 some degrees outside. So imagine you just living through hell. You know what I'm saying? It's hell everywhere. I only got coolness in my car. You know what I'm saying? But you get out, it's hell. You go inside, it's more hell. You know what I'm saying? I'm sleeping butt naked, bro, on the bed. That's how you know you hot. When you sleeping butt naked with no covers on. I had to go in the living room, G. Take the freaking fan into the living room. Put the fan in the living room. Turn on my big fan, bro. I was butt naked. Well, I mean, when I was sick too. Like I said, it was like a month ago. When I got sick, boy. I mean, when I was off for like 4 days, 5 days, and it was cold as heck outside, but I felt nothing. I felt like my body was in hell. You know what I'm saying? I'm walking around the crib butt booty naked. Crib like 50 some degrees. Outside is like at least 30. I ain't feel nothing. Big, just walking out around the house butt naked. I couldn't go to sleep, boy.
After hearing what sounded like footsteps or shuffling, I quickly paused my video and put the tablet down. The noise stopped along with the video, which made me think it had just been part of what I was watching, or maybe my imagination. I resumed the video and heard it again. I looked to my left toward the window, but didn't see anything. So I eventually fell asleep. For a few nights, nothing happened. But then one night, a couple nights later, during my usual late night YouTube and show watching routine, I heard the shuffling again. I paused what I was watching and listened, this time longer than before. I swear I could hear breathing now too. I glanced at my window, but again, there was nothing. I convinced myself it was just my mind playing tricks on me and turned to face my closet instead. As I picked my tablet back up to resume the video, I saw something move at my window through one of the gaps in the blinds, reflected in the mirror. A chill ran down my spine. I got up immediately and went to wake up my parents, deciding it was better to be safe than sorry. I told them what I had seen and heard, and even though my dad clearly doubted me, he went outside to check the backyard. A few minutes later, he came back saying he had checked every corner and didn't see anything. He told me that if someone had been there, he would have heard them come in through the squeaky gate, or he at least would have heard them leave. He also checked the Ring camera, which showed no one walking around the house toward the backyard. I suggested that the person could have jumped the fence into the neighbor's yard, but he quickly shut that down, saying we lived in a safe neighborhood and that I should stop watching scary movies. Unfortunately, I believe
So oblivious. You know what I mean? This is why people get killed so much in America. So oblivious. You think cause you in the bro, nowhere safe, bro. You know what I mean? You think cause you in the suburbs, bro, that just automatically just make things safe. You know what I mean? I don't know why people be walking around like everything just peaches and cream, bro. Y'all do not know how evil this world is, do you? You know what I'm saying? Like, I just don't know, bro. You know what I mean? Like, people just be oblivious. Maybe because y'all ain't lose nobody really close to y'all when it comes to gun violence or when it comes to things of that nature. You know what I'm saying? Maybe you got to lose somebody close to you to understand how evil the world is. And you losing somebody close to you that didn't do nothing. You know what I'm saying? Innocent bystander. You know what I mean? Then they'll show you how evil the world is. People be oblivious, bro. I don't know what y'all be thinking in this world. I don't know what y'all be thinking this world is, but just
and went back to
yeah, there's no way nobody could be in my backyard right now. There's no way. You're lying. There's no way nobody could be in my backyard right now. No way. Like, killing just don't happen. Like, we ain't got serial killers on the loose. Like, we ain't got just people around here just killing innocent people for no good reason. It don't happen in the world. It doesn't happen.
Of weeks or months after
Impossible.
I'd hear things again. Each time, I convinced myself it was all in my head and tried to focus on my videos or fall asleep. When winter came and everything was covered in snow, it stopped, and I eventually forgot about it. But the following year, it started again. It didn't happen often, once or twice a month at most, and always past 11 p.m. I tried not to pay attention to it, even when the noises sounded like clear footsteps or deep breathing. I watched a lot of scary movies and videos, so I kept telling myself that had to be the reason. I avoided looking at the window altogether, even though I tried to believe it was all in my head. Part of me was terrified of being proven wrong. One night, against my better judgment, I looked. Not directly at the window, that was too scary. I looked at the mirror instead. This time, I swear I saw the silhouette of a person. I ran upstairs again, and once again, after checking the entire backyard, my dad told me the same thing he had the year before. And once again, I believed him. This went on for a while. I started going to bed earlier, watching videos louder or with headphones, and completely avoiding my mirror, or worse, looking directly at my window. It always stopped when the weather got colder and started again in mid-spring. One night in early December of 2021, there was a huge windstorm. I was watching a stream with my boyfriend over Discord when I decided to grab a glass of water around 11:30 p.m. On my way, I noticed my parents sitting in the living room. It caught me off guard since they rarely stayed up that late, let alone outside their bedroom. Their faces looked tense and preoccupied. I asked if everything was okay, but they brushed it off, assuring me it was nothing.
Look, man, one thing you do, bro, is talk to your children. I'm gonna raise my kids, bro, to just be so different. You know what I'm saying? Like, you ever heard parents be like, man, get out of grown people conversation? I'm gonna raise my kid different. Now, you could be in this conversation. I'm not finna hide life from my kid. I'm not finna hide grown things from my kid. My kid gonna know my kid gonna be very knowledgeable. You know, I'm gonna just be real with my kid, bro. I don't know why, like, parents just don't want to be real with their kids. You know what I'm saying? Like, be real with your kid. Let your kid hear these conversations. You know what I mean? Gonna be better. You know what I mean? Gonna be better. You know, I'm gonna let you know that death is real. I'm gonna let you know that you're gonna die. I'm gonna let you know that you can get killed. I'm gonna let you know these things, bro. Hiding life away from your kids, bro, and hiding things going. What if she needs to hear what's going on? You know what I'm saying? You keeping something real dangerous from your kid. That's not finna save her. That's almost gonna make it even more dangerous. At least if you tell her, now she gonna be more aware of the situation. Just don't be understanding that. You know what I'm saying? Parents just need to get better at that, bro. I'm gonna just teach my kids. You know what I'm saying? Hey, man, I'm gonna teach my kids, and that's one thing I could say, bro. When it came to my parents, bro, they never tried to hide life away from me, I freaking like I thank them for that. You know what I'm saying? They never try to hide. I've been knowing about death, bro, ever since I've been a young kid, bro. You know what I'm saying? I've been knew I can die. You know what I'm saying? I've been knew that death was real. Never believed in Santa Claus. They never was it with that sugarcoating joke with me. You know what I'm saying? My dad wasn't with that. My mom, I just had some real parents that just, you know what I'm saying? I knew about life. You know what I'm saying? I think the first person that I seen in a casket, I was at a young age. Like they didn't hide funerals away from me or nothing. They didn't hide bad news or nothing. You know what I'm saying? I just knew about life at a very early age. I was just a very advanced kid, knew how to iron my clothes, knew how to tie my shoes. You know what I'm saying? They just, you know,
I assumed I had walked
I
in
grew
on a
up pretty
conversation
fast
not meant for my ears and headed back
as a
toward my
kid.
room. As I turned toward the stairs, flashes of red and blue light caught my attention through the front window. A police car was pulling into our driveway. My parents immediately stood up as if they'd been expecting it.
So why you not telling her? You know what I'm saying? You brushing it off like it's nothing. So what you experiencing the same thing now? I thought it was nothing though, Pa. I thought it was nothing. No, I mean, I thought it was just a little, I checked the backyard. I thought it was nothing though. You know what I'm saying? You don't want to admit that you was wrong. You know what I'm saying? You don't want to admit that your daughter was right. I thought it was nothing.
Rushed me to my room, telling me they'd call me if needed.
It's happened to you now.
I wanted answers, but I knew it wasn't time to push.
Man,
so
F
I
that.
went back to my room, curiosity eating away at me. Not even 2 minutes later, I was called back upstairs. This time, they didn't keep me in the dark. My dad explained that about 15 to 20 minutes earlier, during the windstorm, he had stepped into the backyard to make sure nothing had been blown over before going to bed. While scanning the yard, he noticed the light from my bedroom window illuminating something near it. As his eye adjusted, he realized it was a man standing motionless just outside my window, staring in. My dad yelled at him and started moving toward him, but the man immediately turned and ran. He jumped the back fence effortlessly, as if he'd done it 100 times before, and he disappeared into the neighboring yards. In that moment, everything I had feared for years stopped being a possibility and became a fact. I hadn't imagined it. Someone really had been there. Terrified, my parents called the police right away, and then went to knock on the neighbor's door to warn her. The older woman who lived there didn't open the door. Instead, she yelled at them to leave or she would call the cops herself. The police eventually arrived, but since my dad hadn't gotten a clear look at the man, there wasn't much they could do beyond increasing patrols in the area and recommending we install more cameras, which we did. In retrospect, my back neighbor's reaction still feels deeply suspicious to me. Why was her first response to threaten my parents, and all they did was knock on her door to warn her? It raises a couple questions, such as, was she living with that man my dad saw? Or had she seen him too and genuinely thought it was him knocking? Did I know the person who stood outside my window for years, or was it just some creepy neighbor who noticed a teenage girl's room with poorly covered blinds and took advantage of it? Did he only want to watch, or was he working up to something else? Even now, those questions haunt me. Knowing that someone was really there the entire time makes every sound I brushed off, every breath I thought I imagined, and every silhouette I forced myself not to look at feels so much more terrifying. I've since switched rooms and can't look at windows facing our backyard the same way anymore. Thank God mine now faces the street. What scares me the most isn't that it happened, it's how long it went on for without anyone knowing, and how easily it could have continued.
I've never been a person of blinds. I got curtains. I don't understand why people don't have curtains. You know what I'm saying? Everybody should have curtains. I don't do blinds. I can't. Of course I do blinds. You know what I'm saying? But just blinds is crazy. You know what I'm saying? I need some curtains. You know what I'm saying? I need something to cover the blinds. You know what I'm saying? Feel me? Just keeping it a beezy, you know. But yeah, man, them type of blinds right here, that's insane. You know what I'm saying? I wouldn't even feel comfortable sleeping with them type of blinds. But I'ma just keep it real. But hey, man, that's on you though, shorty.
It was a cold winter day in mid-December, and I was 15 years old. I originally lived in a suburban area of Alberta with my parents in our apartment. However, we were running low on space, and with my little sister on her way, we knew we had to move to a bigger house. It seemed lucky for us at first, because there was a house just a few blocks down that was selling for a very cheap price tag. Granted, it wasn't the best looking or in the best area, but it had room to grow in, and for the price we paid, we could renovate to our heart's content. My dad did renovate slightly with the money we had left, but mainly the basement, as it was almost unusable without being fixed up. Cleaning, carpeting, new beams, fixing the bathroom, and fresh wallpaper with a cool pattern I got to choose myself. For the first couple of months, living there had been great, and I was really enjoying the new house. Until the first questionable moment came along. It was my father's birthday, and to celebrate, we all had gone to a restaurant in the evening. All went well until we came home to our front door wide open. My mom was absolutely shaken, and we begged my dad to drive us away from the house while she called the police. My dad grabbed a large, heavy wrench from his toolbox in the truck and went into the house to search for the intruder.
Gotta search.
My mom and I called the cops anyway, and we sat there for 5 excruciatingly long minutes
Gotta
before they
die.
arrived. They searched the house and found my dad, and he came back out and told us nothing was actually stolen, and no one was in the house either.
But how did the door get open? You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't lock doors? You don't believe in locking doors? How did the door get open? You know what I'm saying? Like, you come home and then your door is wide open? You gotta search the whole crib. You know what I mean? But, I mean, you know what's telling me? The person, I guess the person that owned this house gotta change the locks, because I'm going back to the person that owned this house, you know what I mean, still has that key. So I'm saying it's some weird owners, you know what I'm saying, that own that house. You know what I mean? Did you change the locks, or is that still the same locks? You know what I'm saying? I don't know. But it's just kind of crazy to me how you come home, you know what I'm saying, and the door is wide open. I ain't never heard of that. Unless you left the door unlocked.
However,
And that'll be
some of
another
our items
story.
were moved or knocked over. Specifically,
You know, you got
books
some
on
dumb
my
people like
bookshelf.
that.
The police eventually finished their search and told us the same thing. We were still a little paranoid, but finally, we went inside our home. From that day forward, I would always hear strange noises coming from the walls, and sometimes underneath our basement.
In the walls?
Might I add, my room was there, in the basement, but I always dismissed the sounds as the pipes. This was an older house after all. That was until one night, something unexplainable happened. It was around 2 in the morning, and I was playing with my Nintendo DS under the sheets with no volume, so my parents didn't know I was still awake. That's when I heard it. Clear laughter coming from the wall to the side of my bed. My heart froze in time, and my eyes probably widened to the size of plates. I didn't know what I should do. Ignore it? Call my parents? Go investigate? I decided to wait for a while to see if it happened again.
Cuz in the walls?
But after about 30 minutes of laying still as a stone, I decided it must have just been my sleep-deprived imagination, and finally went to sleep. I woke up the next morning in my bed.
Hilarious.
As usual, nothing changed.
It's so hilarious how people just be like trying to make up things to make themselves feel better. Like, it's hilarious, bro. It's so hilarious. You know what I'm saying? Like, anything to make them feel better. You heard the laugh. You know what I mean? You heard the man laugh inside the walls. That's what it is. You know what I mean? How you don't imagine that any other day? You know what I mean? For me, I'm not the type to make up things in my mind. I believe what I think. What I think at the moment is what I believe. You know what I'm saying? I'm very, like, when it comes to trusting my gut, I'm very good at that. You know what I'm saying? I trust my gut 100%. You know what I'm saying? I know I heard a laugh in here, so I'm going to act on that laugh. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to go back to sleep and I just heard a laugh clear as day. Not my mind playing tricks on me. That's what it is.
Despite that laugh still burning in my mind, I tried to pass it off.
I gotta check these walls, man.
Strange noises every so often for the next couple.
I gotta
of
check
weeks,
these walls.
But that felt normal for me now. This is when the next occurrence happens. By this time, my sister was already born, and since the basement was big enough, plus my mom trusted me with keeping her safe at night, she shared the room with me.
Oh man.
Now this doesn't mean my mom didn't use baby monitors, because she did. She kept the parent units in the living room and the other in the kitchen. One night, my parents had gone out for a late night dinner and left me to take care of the house until they got back. I was in the living room watching a movie when I got up to get a snack from the kitchen. That's when I noticed odd noises coming from the baby monitor. And my heart sank. I knew no one else was home, but those were footsteps, loud, heavy footsteps. Suddenly, my fear was realized when my sister started crying and I heard a faint shh sound come out of the speaker.
Gotta go kill
followed by
some.
a crash.
Bro, go kill, bro.
I instantly did the first thing that came to mind, which now, thinking clearly in retrospect, could have gotten us both killed.
Just get me killed then, bro. Bro, I don't care about none of that, bro. I don't care about getting killed. I ain't gonna lie to you, bro. My mom coming out now, bro. I don't care, bro. I don't care about that junk. I'm telling you. Bro, you gotta kill me, bro. I ain't gonna lie to you. I'm telling you, you gotta kill me, shout. Coming down there straight blasting on you. I ain't asking no question, bro. Especially my little sister, but if my sister was just born, what? Bro, I'm gonna come down there straight blast you, bro. I don't care. I don't care about none of that. All fear gone. I ain't gonna lie to you. The only thing that's on my mind, bro, is my sister. You know what I'm saying? I'm not even thinking about myself. I'm telling you, I'm not even thinking about myself. I already know how I'm getting this moment, bro. I ain't thinking about me, bro. You know what I'm saying? But my objective, bro, is to protect my sister, bro. She's the only thing on my mind. It's crazy what love do, boy. You know what I'm saying? Love, boy, don't even think about myself, but I'm coming down there blasting you, bro. I don't care about none of that. You know what I'm saying? Straight up.
Came to
Don't
mind,
be easy.
which now, thinking clearly in retrospect,
die.
could have gotten us both killed.
Gotta die, G.
I ran as quickly as I could up to my parents' room and grabbed my father's rifle.
There you go.
However, I didn't have the key to unlock the trigger lock or any of the ammunition. I figured I would pretend it was loaded and try to hide the lock with my hand. If I was attacked, I would use the buttstock to defend myself. All I thought of was getting my sister to safety. When I got to the basement door, I opened it quietly and walked down the steps, turning to face my sister's crib. No one was there, but she was still crying, as well as the baby monitor being on the ground sideways. I mustered all the courage I could and yelled, "I'm armed. Come out before I find you." Still nothing. I grabbed my sister and ran upstairs. I closed the basement door and pushed a chair under the handle to keep it locked while I called my parents. They called the police and got home as fast as they could. The police got to my house before my parents did, so they made me sit in the back of the cop car with my baby sister, while one of the police officers went inside to...
What type of parents is this, though? You think I'm finna leave my new baby? Like, what, bro? You know what I'm saying? I get it, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, I get it. You know what I'm saying? 15, but man. Man. Newborn? We gotta, I don't know, newborn, man. I'm too overprotective for that junk. You know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna lie to you, bro. I mean, cameras, man. I'm telling you, when I get super rich, man, we gonna be investing in some guns, man. We gonna be like some Will Smith and I Am a Legend. Like, I'm gonna have some crazy investments around the house. Like, I'm gonna have some crazy windows, some doors, man. I'm talking about it's gonna be like some security. It's gonna be like the White House. I'm gonna make some crazy investments, bro. Yeah, a lot of people, when they get a lot of money, bro, they start buying chains, just useless things. You know what I mean? I'm decking out this dang house. You know what I mean? Buying a lot of guns, a lot of canned foods, a lot of tuna. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm doing. You know what I'm saying? I don't know, man. I just think different. I don't trust this world. So for me, the first thing when I get a lot of money is survival. That's what I'm thinking about, survival. I got to go to the gun store and get so much ammunition. I got to go get my gas tanks. I got gas tanks in there. I got to go fill up gas just in case. I don't know, man. I just think about survival. F them chains. F that money. F all that chains and all that. Nah, man. I got to survive out here.
Investigate. When my parents arrived, I told them
bulletproof cars. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm going. Some bulletproof cars.
Everything that happened.
Oh, yes, sir.
They were confused, but very concerned. They knew I wasn't the type of kid that would lie about something like this. The police officer came out and gave us an all clear and said no one was in the house. Just as they finished talking to us and were about to leave, my dad worriedly asked them if they checked behind the bookshelf. In my room, There was a bookshelf that came embedded into the wall, so I was very confused when my dad asked to look behind it.
What?
The police officer was confused too, and asked my father to come inside with him and point out what he meant. Lo and behold, when we got downstairs, my bookshelf was pushed open slightly like a door, and the basement window that leads to the backyard was opened all the way, with my desk chair planted under it. Behind the bookshelf was a small room with some of the pipes to our house, and the pipes wrapped around some of the walls. On the ground were some food wrappers, one of our cups that had gone missing, lotion, a switchblade, along with an apple that was partially eaten but still slightly fresh. Someone had been living in our house, and we didn't even know it this whole time. The police said that most likely while they were outside talking to us, whoever was here escaped through the open window. They said to call if we ever noticed anything suspicious. However, they didn't think the person would come back now that we knew of their secret. That wasn't even the most horrifying part, however. A few days later, I pushed open the bookshelf myself and explored it top to bottom. That's when I found a tiny hole in the wall, and when I looked through, it pointed directly to my bed and dresser. Whoever was in there was watching me sleep, get dressed, play my video games, do my homework, speak on the phone, everything. They knew most of my life. I'm an adult now, and I live in my own apartment with my boyfriend. My parents still live there 5 years later. To this day, I worry for them and hope whoever that was never returns.
That's some crazy ish right there. You know what I'm saying? Gotta check the walls, but y'all make sure y'all be freaking cool in y'all house, man. You know what I'm saying? We done with the freaking stream, you know what I'm saying? But make sure y'all be cool up in the cribbo, man. You know what I'm saying? Honestly, never be too comfortable, chat. Never ever be too comfortable. Make sure y'all subscribe. You know what I'm saying? I know a lot of y'all ain't trying to subscribe on Twitch because you got to pay. But like up the video, you know what I mean? Like the video, you know what I'm saying? Turn on post notifications. You know your boy J live every single day except for freaking Sunday. You know what I'm saying? So appreciate everybody for joining the stream every